Hello, my name is Alexei Ungurenaşu. I'm an English and philosophy student at the University of Windsor, and I'm also the City of Windsor's Youth Poet Laureate. Thank you so much to the Arts Council of Windsor and Region for inviting me to participate in their exhibition, Diasporic Expressions, with my zine, Home Eventually. In this video, I'll talk a bit about how I made the zine, and I'll also do a reading of the poem inside it. And we'll start. So I was born in Iași, Romania, and I moved to Canada when I was 12. I lived in Toronto for 6 years, and then I moved to Windsor 4 years ago, and I still live here. The zine, all the photos I took were taken in Romania and my hometown in the summer of 2019, and I mostly took them when I was out with my friends and family. And then when I got home here in Windsor, I selected about 30 of them, and I wanted to do something with them, but I couldn't figure out exactly what for a long time. And then this exhibition's prompt of home kind of led me back to the photos. And as I was looking through them, I realized a lot of them were photos of fronts of houses, and other ones were photos of roads and paths. So I decided to overlap them in Photoshop and create this double exposure effect with the theme of the road back home. As I was editing the photos, I also started writing the poems, so parts of it started to be influenced by the connections I drew between the outcome of overlapping photos, and I also have always been struck by the disparity in the houses and streets in my hometown, because on one side of the street you might have villas with 2 to 3 floors, and then on the other side really run-down homes. So I wanted to show both sides of that in the zine, and actually the last photo here was the first one I made back in 2019. It's 2 different cars that I saw in people's front yards, and that's where the idea of overlapping photos came to me. The zine will be available in PDF format on the ACWR's website, and although I'm not really planning to print physical copies of the zine, I might take a couple of the designs and turn them into individual prints later. And now I will do a reading of the poem, Home Eventually. On this street of neighbors, alleyways and beginnings, street of muses, once a cafe bearing the same name, I summon clouds of evergreen in the shade of all unknowing, sing a song of hope return upon rooftops of cover blown. All the streets bow and shiver at the sight of passing time, once full of pride and splendor, their ruins speak slow decline. God knows how many prayers took like rockets to the sky to bring back home the people who found their shelter outside. My steps spell uncertainty with every road I take, until I'll wander back to Iași. I'll be home eventually. And again, as I said, I wanted to show both sides of the wealthier Romania and the poorer Romania coexisting, so there's some lines referring to that. And yeah, thank you so much for watching my presentation, and thanks again to the ACWR for inviting me to their exhibition. Make sure to check out my zine, Home Eventually, on the ACWR's website. Thank you.